Okay, first of all, thank you for attending Verses of Realness. The title is from my upcoming book, and I'm your spoken word artist, humble spoken word artist, Bob McNeil. Okay? And this is my accompanist, Fred Simpson. Let's give each other a round of applause. All right. The program will deal with humanity's strength, female power, and mankind's need to write. All right, now we're going to start off with a rather famous figure. I want to start off with Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela said, quote, "I detest racialism because I regard it as a barbaric thing, whether it comes from a black man or a white man." This next composition is entitled Mandela. Mandela, you survived a logic derelict verdict, survived tearless discomfort of the dust storm dehydrated, and your determination did not crumble on limestone rubble. Mandela, witnessing February 11th, 1990 eradicate bigotry's restraints, aroused the belief endowed. Among our pleas, a wish for a ballot empowering your name was what our assaulted views wanted. Mandela, those who are still famished for liberation perceive you as racial nutrition because you uprooted the venom polluted, flowers of respect sprouted from the wisdom you gifted. Mandela, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In keeping with this theme, I'm going to share another piece. This one is about Malcolm X. Let's wait for this individual. She's arriving right now. Okay,
Can I ask you
absolutely.
Venues where you do this at?
As many as conceivably possible.
Is this the first?
Oh, no. I've been at this since the time of dinosaurs. Memory serves. I remember one time the Tyrannosaurus Rex saying, "I really love your work."
At the library.
Oh, yeah. I performed at numerous libraries. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
And is it usually like on a Saturday afternoon?
Sometimes it has been weekends.
And how has the turnout been?
It varies depending upon the weather. We've been very fortunate.
Today.
Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous today.
It happened 2 weeks ago.
Exactly. We had a packed house in the Bronx. We walked inside and everybody was waiting for us.
Yeah,
so you really can. Right.
Stuff.
These things happen. But you know, the thing is, I don't do it for the size of the audience. I do it because of the love of the medium. And of course, I'm always happy to express myself with individuals like yourself. So I always say I'll give the same performance if one person's in the audience or a million people in the audience. The heart and the soul have to be there. You have to love the art form, right? That being said, okay, let's hear it for art. Right, come on. There you go. All right. Ma'am, you're just in time for the end of the show. Good night now. So this particular piece is about Malcolm X. Malcolm X said, quote, "I believe in human beings and that all human beings should be respected as such, regardless of their color." Unquote. This poem is entitled "The Pillar Named X." Realize that a Nubian minister threw truth-pointed ideas and they became spears which sailed to impale racists. For his martyrdom, praise Malcolm, we praise him. For his martyrdom, praise Malcolm, we praise him. Realize that this Nubian minister used fire-form phrases, phrase upon phrase made ears blaze, phrase upon phrase bombarded this non-united country's ways. his martyrdom, praise Malcolm. We praise him. For his martyrdom, praise Malcolm. We praise him. Realize that this Nubian minister proved numerous honorless bullets could not harm the armor of his remarks. Just his body was slain, ordaining his soul to gain revolutionary eminence. For his martyrdom, praise Malcolm. We praise him. For his martyrdom, praise Malcolm. We praise him. Everybody now. For his martyrdom, praise Malcolm. For his martyrdom, praise Malcolm. For his martyrdom, praise Malcolm. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so that's it. We're finished now. Martin Luther King said, human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step toward the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle. The tireless exertions and passionate concern of dedicated individuals. This piece is called Reverend King. Reverend! Your words are elixirs, compassion enlivened mixtures, laboring to emancipate heads from their hatred. May each person love as well as you. May each person love as well as you. Reverend, your visions, those mountain thriving dreams gleam compassionately as heaven's unsegregated denizens. May each person love as well as you. May each person love as well as you. Reverend, your Lord book existence has chapters for generations to comprehend the mending greatness of allegiance. May each person love as well as you. 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 Thank you. All right. The audience did very well, I think. Okay. Give yourselves a round of applause. There you go. We'll do the same joke. It's going to be fresh and new when they come to
Come on.
We won't bite much. We're waiting for individuals.
Works in the park.
Yeah, it works in the park very well.
In the park, it works.
Okay. Okay. They're deliberating over there. Okay. Friends of yours? Yeah, I can say it. You can call them that. Let me stop. Anyway, thank you for being here. I appreciate your presence. Are you a spoken word artist? You're a poet? A rapper? I get an artist.
A little bit of everything.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of hyphens.
Yeah.
Right. I got an artistic vibe from it, so that's a good thing. Give me some of your information and I'll blow you up on my page, okay? See, it's pathetic when an old guy tries to sound, I'll blow you up on my page. It's just sad. It's just so sad. Yeah, it's really sad. Yeah. It's just pathetic. An old hipster. Here during this portion of the program, I'm going to share a poem by Dr. Maya Angelou. And it's a very familiar piece called I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. This is our interpretation of it.
The free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the cage bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds fall through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a cage bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the cage bird sings of freedom. Thank you. In the 17th and 18th centuries, slave ships were known as floating tombs. Inspired by a vision of those slaves, I wrote verses for reparations. Mm-hmm. 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 Picture being seized from your mama's womb. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Picture being seized from your mama's womb. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just to be placed in a floating tomb. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Picture being refused milk from her breast. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Picture being refused milk from her breast. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And no one feels your protest. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Picture being wounded after your birth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Picture being wounded after your birth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kindred to a slave of no worth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To acres and a mule won't satisfy those who died. Those who died. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To acres and a mule won't satisfy those who died. Those who died. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Picture this suffering being well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Picture this suffering being well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To everyone who had Jesus nailed. Mm-hmm. 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 Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's a great after that. Some years ago, I had the great fortune of editing an anthology called Nubian Gallery. You can find it in certain libraries, even to this day. And a gentleman by the name of Eric C. Webb contributed a poem called The Drums. And I thought it was appropriate to do this particular piece. Hey, what a coinky-dink we have a drummer, so that works out perfect. See how these things work out if you plan them? Yeah, right, if you plan them. That being said, we're going to do a piece called The Drums, and I'll give you one guess as to why we're going to do that. The drums. The drums keep beating, calling our names, with rhythmic tones beckoning us to rise. Rise. Ghetto drums, ghetto bass drums on summer nights, echoing woes and dreams deferred. Birthing drums, healing drums, warrior drums, healing drums, warrior drums, syncopated heartbeats, resurrecting ancestral cries, drowning in crack-induced nirvanas, drowning in malt liquor buzzes, drowning in blunted brains. The drums keep beating, calling our names with rhythmic tones, beckoning us to rise from under the nightstick, rise on the marches, rise with the lynchers noose, rise from under the whip, rise out of the fields, rise over bloody seas, rise out of shackles and chains, rise out of the dungeons, rise and we're in the chase, rise, the drums keep beating, calling our names until we're free. Thank you.
Good.
Again. Yeah, let's hear it for Fred. Come on. That loud bell Bob McNeal wasn't too bad. Come on, let's hear it for Bob. Come on. There you go. That guy owes me money. That Bob guy. Who is better qualified to talk about percussion? A poet, a painter, or a drummer? Anybody? There you go. Thank goodness we have a drummer named Fred here to share this piece called Don't Touch My Drums. Let's hear it for Fred.
At least one of you in the audience has heard this before, but it's a message that I like to give all the time. It's not that I'm not a friendly guy, but I'm very possessive of my drum. Don't touch my drum, my sweat and blood on that rim and into that skin. Don't touch my drum, 'cause only I can make it sing as it should. It's a personal thing. Nothing comes between me and it. Yes, my love, not anything. So don't touch my drum, my sweat, blood on that rim and into that skin. Don't touch my drum, 'cause only I can make it sing as it should. I choose the beat, set the pace, give the call, play the breaks, and solo, so long. So don't touch my drum, my sweat, blood on that rim and into that skin. Don't touch my drum, 'cause only I can make it sing as it should. It's a personal thing. Nothing comes between me and it. Yes, my love, not anything. So don't touch my drum, my sweat, blood on that rim and into that skin. Don't touch my drum, 'cause only I can make it sing as it should.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
He's a keeper.
I can usually encourage you.
Yes, it's true. This is true. Very talented man. Okay, tell me when you're ready. Okay, cool. Years ago, I had this very clear image in my head that certain African ancestors were looking down from heaven at the modern events taking place in America. The end result of that vision became my Obama poem. Whenever you're ready. Recipients of another time's torment rested above the stratosphere and studied Obama. In the electoral woodland, they saw Obama bloom. Recipients of another time's torment rested above the stratosphere and felt smiles for Obama express Juneteenth rapture. They felt Obama's speeches wed their ears. Recipients of another time's torment rested above the stratosphere and saw Obama as the first rosewood tree for the acres they were promised. Thank you. All right. Among the profound tragedies of the world, we will always remember September 11, 2001. You're probably not young enough to remember that, you guys. It is for that reason that Fred wrote this wonderful piece called Paths. You look familiar. Hold on. Let me see something. Hold on. You are a poetry enthusiast. You love poetry. There you go. See? Right. It's that psychic thing going on. Now I'm going to guess your weight. Hold on. Stay still. No, as I was saying, this particular piece called Paths that Fred wrote.
Come on down. Take a seat.
Okay, we reserve some for you, as you can clearly see. Okay. Before I get started, because he's going to settle down for a moment, you guys remember where you were on September 2001? You were probably not even born yet, so we'll skip you. Anybody else? You remember? Where were you? Yeah, okay. And you?
At my school.
Yeah. Okay, is it the fact that you were teaching or you were attending? Okay. Surmise as much.
I
You?
didn't think I was maybe third grade.
I was up there.
You're funny. I'm sorry?
You know what?
You were uptown? Yeah. When? Okay. Really? Yeah. And how long did it take you to find out about what was taking place in New York?
Right away.
Really? Yeah. Right. And you, sir?
I was looking at the window and
right.
I could see the plane, but I saw it because I could see the sky.
Great tragedy. And you?
I was in Italy.
Yeah.
But we heard about it.
Right.
We were at a coffee bar.
With that said, Fred is going to express his lamentation right now.
This is an excerpt from a four-part poem that I wrote about 9/11. I too witnessed from my windows from a distance the towers go down. This is called Paths. Path number 1. Trudging north toward the Bronx and bridges, ash-covered survivors, lucky to be alive, fill all the traffic lanes on foot, heading up the FDR Drive. Seeing them, a famous quote pops into my head. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. Path number 2. Headed southeast toward Brooklyn, angled up at about 30 degrees, the route of a wide swath of dirty smoke, pushing out incessantly for more than a week. Path number 3. Flatbed trucks head to Staten Island dump site, decked with debris for careful scrutiny. DNA, the thread through this horror story, the means to identification, for dignity and closure, if there is such a thing. Path number 4. Police motorcycles escort ambulances carrying remains to East 30th Street, facilities set up to receive way too often what were just shards of humanity. Visible gaps, intangible voids, eerie quiet over New York skies, no air traffic of any kind. Extrapolate that across the rest of the country. Scary how quickly world markets decline. The view from Brooklyn's Washington Avenue, city-bound, slopes down from Eastern Parkway. How large those towers loom, look to be just down the street, close enough to touch, as if there was no river in between. The new sight, however, is spectacular at night. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Bob.
So in keeping with this theme, I'm going to share my thoughts about 9/11. My composition is called Lamentable September.
Here, at ground zero, my soul could hear the fierce iron cries of the maimed and martyrized. Here, at ground zero, wrathful phrases, alien as battlefields before my being became a being, flew off my tongue. And this wrathfulness, deadlier than a butcher's cleaver, lacerated away love with hate. Here, at ground zero, I lamented the twin metal-constructed mountains. I filled urns with tears for each stranger who was assassinated by Lucifer-conceived hijackers. Here, at ground zero, the police, firefighters, paramedics, and construction workers, Archangel Michael comparable heroes, were trying to sever tragedy's girders on the buried masses. Here, at ground zero, I realized, despite the bereavement-filled rubble, the brave made the vanquish of numerous natives and visitors appear victorious. Here, at ground zero, our rescuers declared why zealotry-impelled cells could not defeat a need for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Here, at ground zero, I saw respect remove a woeful wound. Thank you.
Well, after our sadness of loss, we must find happiness. Okay, so it's time for Fred to share some happy sounds. Come on, let's lighten up the mood now.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Happy Sounds, that's what this is called. However, it was inspired by my uncle who has quite a while ago passed away. He's a very talented artist and sculptor. And hopefully I'll start in an octave where I can actually finish this. This is our happy sound. Those no longer with us, dedicated to the memory of the love and energy, a joyful sound. Those who were created continue to inspire us. Long after they return to dust, those of us who want to higher ground, we sing this happy sound. Happy sound, happy sound, happy sound, happy sound.
All right. Now, I'm going to share a piece dedicated to the ladies. Let's hear it for the ladies. Come on, say it. Okay. Now, I need your participation, ladies. Okay? We're going to do this chorus together. Yes, we're going to do this chorus together. Very simple. I need you to do this 2 times. Okay? We're going to test this out right now. 1, 2, 3. Women make men comprehend. Come on, say this. Women make men comprehend. Women make men comprehend. Okay, you do that 2 times, and I'm coming for the 3rd one. Here we go. All right? I'm counting 3. 1, 2, 3. Women make men comprehend. Women make men comprehend. Women make men comprehend that each sister has a Harriet Tubman prepared to seek a place where men do not abuse their queens, a place that erects jewels of respect. Women make men comprehend. Women make men comprehend. Women make men comprehend that each sister has a Shirley Chisholm prepared to shake and bake every state. Understand that liberation must not become a membership card only given to men. Women make men comprehend. Women make men comprehend. Women make men comprehend that each sister has a Dr. Macy Jemison entering a Nassau shuttlecraft that ascends to a time where gender mistreatment ends. Women make men comprehend. Women make men comprehend. Women make men comprehend. Come on, ladies. Come on, come on. Come on now, come on. You agree? You agree? You agree? You agree? There you go. All right. Oh, I'm very glad to hear that. I'm a guy and I agree. Obviously, I wrote it.
Maybe for different reasons.
Well, I don't know.
The men agree.
As long as you want peace in your life, you better agree. Let's see now.
The secret to success
The happy life
is
is
say yes.
to your wife. There you go. I learned that lesson a long time ago. Let's see now. In keeping with this theme, I wrote a piece called Maternal Revolutionaries, and in it you'll hear the voices of both Coretta Scott King and Betty Shabazz. So you're going to have to use your imaginations for a moment here and pretend somehow or another that I'm both of them. It's going to be difficult, but, or maybe not. Maybe it won't be difficult after. Hold on. Maybe if I do the piece like this, hold on. You'll get the joke later on. All right. Maternal Revolutionaries. I am Coretta, wedded to the man like a prophet on the summit. I am Betty, wedded to the man like a prophet on Mount Arafat. Destiny again returned our souls to our mate, the hemispheres of our love. We look at the tear of our birth and ask you on earth, will you pledge to never remove the racial print of our heritage on your personage? Or will you exchange yourself for assimilation's change? Will you stand at humankind's podium with a tongue entranced by democracy, spirited to recompose those unmelodious haters? Or will you join the chanters who can't hear notes that emote for peace? Will you let bias possess a grenade burst of a voice? Or will you let unity sing to endear all with ears? Will you assist justice through her ailments? Or will you assassinate her efforts? Both of our souls peer at humanity's fear and pray you will follow our belief that you can end someone's grief. Thank you. Thank you. A great writer and artist from Australia by the name of Wea asked me to write a poem about soul food. Now, as you can clearly see, I'm a man who likes to eat. See, you get laughs every single time I say that. I gotta diet more. So I wrote this piece called Blessed Meals During Cursed Times. I did a lot of research about soul food and how it really started during the time of slavery and how African American women had to basically take food that really wasn't all that palatable and make it taste like something that people wanted. And they had to take things that people normally did not want to eat and make it digestible. So with that thought in mind, I wrote this piece called Blessed Meals During Cursed Times.
holding the same biblical urge to end barbarity's scourge. My antebellum ancestors wanted a rescuer to emerge. Left beside their regrets, they sought manna for their palates, and there was a seasoned trove all over some ebony mama stove. Provided you had their edibles, existence felt palatable. Punches were munched apart. Mamas fried, sauteed, or baked, and sent another acre straight. Their recipes sent servitude's hurts past tyranny's outskirts. Mama's food helped sorrow get hauled, and it allowed love to be installed. Watching gladness protrude, mamas gave nutrition to various broods. Consider 5 the fortifiers they served. I hope them mamas heard. I hope them mamas heard. Thank you. All right. One more poem from the kitchen.
Yep,
Okay. Fred cooked up a piece called The Kitchen Maven. Right? Is that right?
that's right.
There you go. And he's going to share that right now. So let's hear it for Fred.
Kitchen Maven blends crushed pecans into frosting, never from a can. Result, so much more than just icing on the cake. Grandma Ella's yellow layer, batter made from scratch, takes the cake. The proof is in the baker's head, to hand, to mixing bowl, to cake pan, to oven, to cooling rack, to frosting knack, to my privileged taste buds, this buttery light yellow cake with chocolate pecan frosting, thank you, ma'am. 3 big slices, not a crumb remains, scraped onto fork, no morsel straggled, not one fork left behind, with aid of thumb and index finger. Chocolate smudges now succumb. 2-handed hoist of plate perpendicular to table, right in front of my face. Tongue, do your dirty work. Until not a trace of heaven grandma makes survives. Don't even get me started on my second favorite thing that grandma made. I'm head over heels, a phrase I've never understood, but here it has a place. My second fondest memory, slight citrus aroma, warm olfactory overture to the dance of my taste buds and psyche. Somehow I think of love and security, a life recipe. Can anyone else on earth make grandma's superb and satisfying pineapple upside down cake? But that's another story. Right now I'm too full to even talk about it.
Now, this next piece is also from the Nubian Gallery. This one was written by Melanie Holt. It's called I Come From Women. And we hope you'll enjoy it. Okay, here we go. I come from a long line of women who make potato salad at midnight, fried chicken at dawn, won't tell you no lies, won't brag a story till it's all in one. Clean up after folks all week, plant flowers in bare feet, teach double dutch to girls on the street, paint masks to cover their sorrow, and you'll hardly ever see them cry. I come from women who fight when needed, cross legs when wanted, always know which fork to hold, women who drink from the bottom and dance from their butts. They'll cut you if you cross them, whip you without batting an eye, play bid whist all night Saturday, take communion on Sunday, hoping to never ever die. I come from a line of women who'll talk about you to your face, sit open eyed saying grace, will hang all day long in a bar, can't drive, but will ask you for your car. I come from women, cops, artists, murderers, cooks, who change tires, balance books, can pass hours on the front stoop, birth your baby, heal your crew. I come from silver bangles, gap front teeth, nappy hair, big flat feet, with thick brown thighs, horrid, sweat, sweet women. Yeah. All right. Oh. All right. Moving on. February 1st was Langston Hughes' birthday. He wrote Harlem Sweeties. Did you guys know that February 1st was Langston Hughes' birthday? No? I guess not. Okay. I celebrated. Did you celebrate? Okay. We'll get over that somehow. There was an expression back in the 1920s, gimlet or gims, and it was a way of saying clear-sighted. In other words, if a person had gimlet eyes or gims, they were a clear-sighted individual, they could see it clearly. It's not an expression we use anymore, but it's in the poem. It fits into the meter very well. Anyway, this particular piece is called Harlem Sweeties. Have you dug the spill of Sugar Hill? Cast your gims on this sepia thrill. Brown sugar lassie, caramel treat. Honey gold, baby, sweet enough to eat. Peach skin girly, coffee and cream. Chocolate darling, out of a dream. Walnut tinted or cocoa brown, pomegranate lip, right out of the town. Rich cream club to plum tinted black. Feminine sweetness in Harlem's no lack. Glow of the quince to blush of the rose, persimmon and bronze to cinnamon toes, blackberry cordial, Virginia dead wine, all those sweet colors flavor Harlem of mine. Walnut or cocoa, let me repeat, caramel brown sugar, a chocolate treat, molasses taffy, coffee and cream, licorice, clove, cinnamon to a honey brown dream. Ginger wine gold, persimmon and blackberry, all through the spectrum Harlem girls vary. So if you want to know beauty's rainbow sweet thrill, stroll down luscious, delicious, fine Sugar Hill. Thank you. Okay.
I was up there. Man.
Was that up?
Felt like I was up there.
Yo, thank you. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. This particular piece is called A Versified Voyage. Now, memory serves, you said you were a poet, right? Do you remember when you started writing poetry?
Well, I would say about maybe about 10 years ago.
Okay. Okay. You appear to be an artist. What is your artistic expression, sir? You want to be an actor? Okay. When did you first discover this desire to be an actor? Kid. Okay. Good answer. And I heard that you were an artist extraordinaire. Okay, so when did you first feel the need to express yourself artistically?
When I was just a teenager.
Which was just yesterday.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
But just in the last 5 or 6 years, I picked it up again.
Exactly.
And it's gotten a lot better.
Right.
We wanted to approve
I'll
certain
attest to
people.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
it's
believe
really, really matured. I think.
I believe that. And you, sir?
Just curious what medium.
A lot of mediums.
Poetry,
Medium
painting,
everything. Medium everything.
No, he's not talking about like large, small, medium. No. Right. Artistic medium. It's an old Milton Road. Okay.
Yeah, words.
Right. This is true. And you, sir?
I love music. It's my wife.
Stature.
I copy it.
No.
I copy it for Quincy.
I know. And Quincy's outside to ask for his, money right now.
There's an art form that's not always recognized as an art form, but you did some DJing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is an art form. Yeah, it is. It's like a musical collage.
Definitely art.
Yeah, it's definitely an art form. Right. Exactly. Right.
You want to move that crowd?
No, it's true. You're absolutely right. And you strike me as being artist, model, extraordinaire. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. So you're prepared. Awesome. But I get the impression that you have some kind of artistic desire. Am I right to say that? Yeah, I thought so. And what exactly is your form of expression? What is your form of expression? What is your form of artistic expression? Okay. So that's good. Well, that's an art form unto itself. No. It's not an art form to be dismissed at all. Like, for instance, I was looking at New York Magazine. Fashion, exactly. And I was looking at some of the layouts when I was waiting to get a haircut. And I was looking at some of the layouts inside the magazine, and I was absolutely floored by the artistry of some of the photographs. I mean, and the patterns of the clothes. I mean, absolutely great. Normally, I don't pay attention to this type of thing, But this particular time, I really, really moved by the aesthetics. Yeah, incredibly artistic. And you,
I'm an artist, writer, short story,
right?
writer.
Okay. But the original question on the floor was, when did you feel the need to become an artist?
Well, I don't think I know. I didn't feel the need. I started writing when I was 5 years old.
Fine. Okay. So we have something very close in common. And you? No, you don't want to tell me. Okay. Well, that's okay, because we have a dossier right here, and I know exactly. At age 12, we know all about you. Okay. This is called The Versified Voyage. It's a poem about a child who decides to become a writer. Okay. Another boy was raised at the Hudson River with a firm earth sign, a promising limb on an African tree. And the thinker, his archetype, sat beneath his unburdened brow. 24 seasons later, the child scrutinized the lost tribes, Jerusalem, Harlem, and like East 127th Street Shakespeare, Langston Hughes, the boy embraced his race. At 54 seasons, the boy became a knowledge-consuming entity, learning about African rhythmic prose, odes, Bantu, Zulu, Malinke, Yoruba, south of the Sahara songs. The child traveled the geography of his mentality with David Diop, Dadi, Césaire, and Senghor, poets who created the seeds that became Afrocentric breeds. To the boy, these poets were sight-igniting keys. By applying those keys, he opened doors to vistas where black people were birthing a renown-bound future. Eluding adults' brimstone sizzling stress. Beneath a dirt antiquated tree, he studied comfortably and saw the spirits of the pundits. At 55 seasons, with his ever-present pen and paper, he was runner in a race inspired. Those were his sight-igniting keys. By applying those keys, the child and a page converged, and an aged griot emerged. Thank you. I'm going to pay one more tribute to Langston Hughes by sharing his very famous poem, The Negro Speaks of Rivers. This requires me to sit down because I'm an old man. Boy. That's good one. Oh, I envy you. You get to sit with the program.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, hold on now. All right. So this is.
Keeps me young.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You can see how standing is affecting my gray hair, right? It's worrying me. Langston Hughes wrote this particular piece when he was a teenager, but the voice in the poem clearly is that of an older person, someone who has been around for a long period of time, an individual who's seen a lot of history. So I'm going to share this particular piece with you right now. I've known rivers. I've known rivers, ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deeper like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient dusky rivers. My soul has grown deeper like the rivers. Thank you. I'm still a character, you know. I mean, if I remember Lincoln, I should have backaches. Should be arthritic at this point, at the very least, right? That justifies my creaking back. Right? With that said, let's talk about another river. Luis Reyes Rivera was a great Puerto Rican poet, professor, public speaker, radio personality. He was just a wonderful individual. Unfortunately, passed recently. And he wrote a great essay on the subject of poetry. And this is just an excerpt from it. This is a slight deviation from our normal poetry program. And although it's an essay, it has a lot of poetic qualities. This particular portion really exemplifies that. So this is an excerpt from Inside the River of Poetry. Always there is a need for song. And every human has a poem to write. A compulsion to contemplate out loud, an urge to dig out that ore of confusion locked up inside. Poetry, you see, is as old as breath itself, for when human beings across the planet simultaneously uttered that first initial sound, they gave rise to the same echo heard in the wail of every newborn child. Thus, the birth of the word, the root of every language, poetry, the strength of the people, the finest manifestation of craft, content, and intent in every written and oral expression, the basis upon which all other literary genres have evolved. Thank you. This is a brief piece by Pablo Neruda. You guys are familiar with Pablo Neruda, right? He was a Chilean poet. This is an English translation of one of his pieces called Verbo, which means verb. Verb. There you go. Perfect. Okay. This is a slightly unusual piece, but you know, I think it's great qualities. Okay. Whenever you're ready, sir. Okay, great. I'm going to wrinkle this word. I'm going to twist it. It is much too flat. It is as if a great dog, a great river, had passed its tongue or water over it during many years. I want that in the word. The roughness is seen, the iron salt, the defanged strength of the land, the blood of those who have spoken, and those who have not spoken. I want to see the thirst inside the syllables. I want to touch the fire in the sound. I want to feel the darkness of the cry. I want words as rough as virgin rocks. Thank you. One more piece by Dr. Maya Angelou. Okay, and she's going to express her love of the word. Not yet. See, I'll tell you why they're laughing. Okay, I gotta let you in on a joke. We've had a debate about the pronunciation of Maya Angelou's name. Okay, you've heard this debate as well, right? Okay, right. Now, all those that say Angelo, raise your hands. Okay, well, one.
I didn't used to.
You didn't used to. Everybody that says Angelou, raise your hands. And Lou. Okay, so you have more Lou's than Lowe's.
2 to 1.
Right. You won this one. Okay. Lou. Okay. Well, I say Angelo. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Let's just go along. Okay. So this is called I Love the Look of Words. I'm still laughing about the fact we're still debating this. Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, again, I love the look of words. Popcorn leaps popping from the floor of a hot black skillet and into my mouth. Black words leap, snapping from the white page, rushing into my eyes.
sliding into my brain, which gobbles them the way my tongue and teeth chomp the buttered popcorn. When I have stopped reading, ideas from the words stay stuck in my mind, like the sweet smell of butter perfuming my fingers long after the popcorn is finished. I love the book and the look of words, the weight of ideas that popped into my mind. I love the craft of new thinking in my mind. Thank you. All right. On that note, we're going to conclude with our tribute to words. And this particular piece is called Sword of Words. You know, I never had an opportunity to tell you when I felt the need to write. I never told you that. That's right. There you go. I was approximately 6 years of age, and my father gave me a book called The Child's Garden of Verses by Robert Louis Stevenson. And I fell in love with the sound of language. I said, how can a person do this? How do you make words sing like this? Make words have rhythms like this? And I remember staring at the image of Robert Louis Stevenson for a long period of time, trying to figure out how this haggard-looking individual was so able to come up with these beautiful, cheerful words. And I just absolutely fell in love with his work, and I've been trying desperately to find my means of expressing similar rhythmical approach. Okay, but anyway, that being said, this is called Sword of Words. Okay, and I'm going to move the podium because we don't need it. Okay. Is that open? Don't trip over. Yeah, right, exactly. The story of my life. Don't trip over the props. Was that? Yeah, I know, right. Okay, but it was an interesting approach to the poem for the first time I've been doing it on the floor. I'd never tried that. Yeah, you're right, exactly. The whole new approach to poetry. Lying down on the floor while we're reciting. Okay, this is called Sword of Words. We create. We shape. We mold. A cosmos of star-lusted concepts with words. God-hallowed words, sage-made words, hallowed ancient words, sermon-mounting words. We write. We inspect. We dissect. Exposing our love-housing hearts, exposing our world-impaired spirits, we infuse each page with words. Passion-inclined words, birth painful words, war morbid words, rainbow-garnished words. The serum, language, flows from our veins. Words are forces possessing an artery to assault or soothe. We're poets throughout our souls, throughout our limbs. We feel our poems. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Come on. Please.
This is the Broadway.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
All right. Well, I'm very glad I got that out of my system. Okay. This is actually my favorite portion of the program because I have an opportunity to ask if any of you have anything to share. Okay? Would you like to share some thoughts on art? Or do you happen to have a poem that you would like to share? You didn't bring anything with you? I can't believe you. Any other time. See, Fred, you're missing your duties. What about you?
No, but
It's always-
Okay,
I'd
hold
love
on.
to hear you do grade C, grade C.
Okay, which piece is this?
Grade C.
The Negro Speaks of Rivers?
No, grade C.
Grade C.
That's what I did it in drama.
Okay.
Professor.
Okay.
I think it's like
Mm-hmm.
grade C.
Yes, I have a CD, but
The electric
okay, let me address that. There's a flyer over there in reference to it. I couldn't bring any CDs because it would be in conflict with the NYPL's policy. So those of you that are interested in getting my CD, please refer to the flyer. Get in contact with me through, Facebook or PO Box.
Why is it called?
It wasn't for a long period of time, but the NYPL has changed its policy about selling things in libraries.
Oh, okay.
And I've been associated with libraries for many years, as I was telling you earlier. But this is a new policy, and I respect the rules, and I love the NYPL system, and I'm always happy to work for the NYPL system. So, according to the rules, I'm not allowed. However, I can give you flyers, and if you want to get in contact with me, that would be a blessing. To support the arts, I would appreciate that.
That reminds me too. I have a sign up.
Yes, if you guys could sign the sheet.
Give me your information.
Right, so we can all correspond. I would really appreciate that. Okay, hope you enjoy the program. Okay. Right. Very good, thank you. I hope you enjoy the program. No, unfortunately, we were both. Sir, I hope you enjoyed the program. God bless you. Listen, can you sign the book? Okay, great. Greatly appreciate it. Okay. Bless you.
Hey, man.
We are, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
If you guys want to stick around for a Facebook picture? Yeah, come on. Can we take one Facebook picture? Okay, come on. Come on. Can you take one still photograph? One still photograph? No, that's okay? All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
That's nice. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll stick around for those that can. You want to get the picture for one Facebook picture? Or not?